Hello and happy Sunday. Today is the 25th of October and today I thought I'd show you some of the little bits that I've been doing to keep myself busy over the last few months. I haven't been able to do any sewing because the landing outside of my sewing room has been in utter chaos because Ben has been changing the banister rail there and repainting everything, and it looks really lovely what he's done, but it's taken quite a while and it's meant that this little sewing room has been out of action for the exact same time because everything's needed to be stored in here and it got in a bit of a chaotic mess. We've also been doing lots of DIY downstairs in the living room, well, more Ben than me. We finally found a plasterer to sort the walls and the ceiling out, so that's all done, and we've also now put a coat of paint on the walls, so it's ticking along nicely down there. So I haven't done any sewing since I think it was the beginning of August, which is a long time ago now because it's October, but I've been keeping myself busy with a bit of knitting instead. So I'm going to show you today the bits that I've finished off. I've actually managed to finish 2 of those off, which is a flipping miracle, and I've started a new knitting project. So I'm just going to quickly show you those. So first up is a pair of socks that I finished. If you have watched my UFO video from last year, I mentioned these Hermione everyday sock pattern that I started but couldn't figure out how to bind off the toe. I was really struggling with that Kitchener stitch and it was just eluding me, so I'd left it, hadn't knit the second sock, but I now have knitted the second sock. I took these away with me to the Isle of Wight when we went in September, and whilst we were watching lots of Poirot on the TV, I managed to knit another one and to finish off the end of this one. So I have 2 wearable socks now, which is quite an achievement considering I started them in October 2016, so it's 4 years pretty much to the day that these are now finished. I've left them on here quite a while, as you can tell, because I wanted to show you these first before I wore them, but I have tried them on and they're very snuggly and warm, so I'm definitely going to knit myself another pair. I have knitted Ben a pair of socks. I knitted him the same pattern but a ribbed version. I would show you those, but they are currently in the wash, so I will insert some pictures of them. So I did them in another variegated version of the Drops Delight yarn, which I bought loads of probably back in 2016 I think it was. So I'm gradually working through the balls of those. I really enjoyed knitting them in the rib stitch, which normally I hate rib stitch, but on circular needles apparently I like rib stitch. So I also like the fact that they're a bit more snug. These ones are lovely, but they are a little bit loose. I've knitted one of the smallest needles that I had, so yeah, for my next pair I'm probably going to knit a ribbed cuff and then maybe a plain sock. So that's that. So I'm really pleased to have finished those and to have knitted a second pair. So sock knitting seems to be doing well for me at the moment. I also finished, and this is somewhat of a miracle, my cable cardigan. I will put some proper pictures in, but I haven't actually tried it on yet since I've done the buttons. Did them last night. So I've finally finished it. I finished the sleeve heads. They're all in. I've sewn it all together and it is complete. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I struggled to get buttons that didn't look a bit clashy on the front, but I think they're okay. I haven't actually tried this on yet, so I probably should do that now, shouldn't I? So that you can see what it looks like on me. One moment. Okay, so it fits. The arms are a little bit snug as I was expecting, but the body's perfect. I think it's maybe anything a little bit big. It is quite short, even though I made it a fair few inches longer on length to accommodate for my taller torso. So I'll only be able to wear it with high-waisted jeans or a skirt. Perhaps, probably better with a skirt to be fair. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's really cute and it's really cosy. So you can see the buttons are quite clearly a different shade of blue. But it's the best I could do when you got to buy things on the internet. You can't really tell the colour, can you? So the ribbon looks quite neat on the back there. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's finally finished. So yes, it fits and it's very snuggly and warm, and I'm delighted to have finally finished this flipping thing after how many years it's taken me to get to this point. I'm a little disappointed with the sleeves being as tight as they are. They are a little bit more tight than I'd really like, and it will mean I can't really wear anything long sleeved underneath. But as long as I wear a cami top or something underneath, I'm sure it'll be okay. But yeah, it's wonderful to finally get this off the needles. So with this being finished and my socks being finished, I only have one project left from my UFO video that hasn't been either finished or ripped back, and that would be my Langell sweater, which I knitted a tube of ribbing up until an armhole point and then I gave up with it. So what I'm planning to do is rip that back, and I found a pattern the other day which I think might work for that. I don't know if I've got enough yarn or if it's the right weight, but I've seen this beautiful cabled knitted sweater in a book from, I think it's from the 90s or the 80s, that I bought a few years ago that I happened to open the other day and fell in love with. So I'm going to show you that in a second and hopefully work out if I've got enough yarn for that. But I've also started a new project. As of last Saturday, I started another cardigan. This time it is in a bright red Aran. This is the same Aran that I used for my date maker cardigan. I was planning to use up all the yarn that's up there gradually before I buy any more for new projects. So I've been trying to find the best project for the yarn that I have, and a lot of the time I haven't got enough for the projects that I'm looking at. So I had intended to make the owl sweater. I'd made a little miniature version for one of my friend's children quite a while ago now, but I'd already bought the adult version. I was really keen to knit it, but again with this Aran wool I didn't have enough of that to make the jumper that I'd wanted. So instead I thought I'd look on Ravelry and just search for Aran weight knitting patterns, and I found this really lovely baggy style by Lily Kate France, and it's called the Be Thankful cardigan. And I saw it and I immediately knew I needed to knit that because it was lovely and loose, and it's more my kind of style now. I'm not so into the closer fitting stuff. So yeah, I immediately cast on, and as you'll see I've gotten to about 8 inches worth of knitting there. It's got all of the front and back knitted in one piece until we get to the armholes, and I think it's a seamless design from what I remember from what I've read on the pattern. But it's really lovely and I'm really excited to knit it. But as usual, I'm not 100% sure I have enough yarn. I have 5 balls of yarn. One of those balls was probably about 3/4 of a ball, because it was what I used to finish off my date maker cardigan, which is what this yarn originally was bought for. When I bought that yarn I bought double the amount. I'm not entirely sure why, but I did. I also got exactly the same yarn in blue as well, so if this goes well and I can get this cardigan out of this amount of yarn, then I'll definitely have a go with the blue as well, because I think it'd be really cute. It is going to be a squeeze. I'm just under the amount that I need for the size that I'm doing. Each ball has 198 meters in it, and for this cardigan I need 900 meters for my size, so I might just have enough. Hopefully that first ball that I started with, which was like I say 3/4 of a ball, has the extra meters that I need, but we'll see. I do like a challenge, don't I? So that's what I'm going to be knitting on this evening and this afternoon. I'm going to carry on with that. It is a really lovely design, and it has this really nice little slip stitch design along the sides where you increase. It's like this little channel and slip stitches, which I've never done before, which is very interesting, and it keeps you awake. It stops you just from blindly knitting. So I've done all my increases now, and I'm just knitting the next few rows until I get to the armholes. It seems like a really simple pattern to do, so I'm really looking forward to carrying on with this. So I'm going to knit on this a bit more this afternoon whilst I watch a few films, I think. I've got an apple and beetroot cake that I've been cooking this morning, which is now in the oven, and I can actually smell it wafting up the stairs, which is smelling rather delicious, which is good because originally when I cooked that beetroot it did not smell good at all. So hopefully this cake is pleasant. So yeah, I'm going to have a bit of that and knit on this for the rest of the day. But I will quickly show you the book that I'm talking about and the pattern that I've seen that I really want to knit. So I'll quickly do that now. So this is the book that I was talking about, called Country Knits, by, oh, it's Debbie Bliss. I didn't realise that. Debbie Bliss and Fiona McTeague. And let's have a look when it was made. It was printed in 1990, so almost 80s, almost 90s. But there are some fabulously of the time pieces in here. I found this in the charity shop on the Isle of Wight years and years ago now. And I think I picked it up because of things like this gorgeous 40s style little pullover in fair old knit, but it's got this gorgeous cardigan, so I'd definitely recommend picking up if you see it. But there's also this cable jumper here which I'm kind of drawn to, and that uses DK yarn, but the one that I'm a little bit in love with is right at the beginning. Here it is, it's this one. Look at that, isn't that cute? Oh, I wanted to knit it, but I've got no patience with cables, so I'm sure this is going to be an utter disaster. But yeah, so I need to work out. I'm going to find out now. Oh, it is DK, so I might get away with it. So yeah, it's DK wool, so I probably haven't got enough. But look at that. So yeah, that's what I'm planning. That's what I'm planning. Am I mad? Probably mad, because I've only just finished the cable thing that took me 4 years to knit. But it's rather lovely. So yeah, I'll have to have a look into my stash and see how much bottle green yarn I've got left, because I like it and I want to knit it. But for now, I'm going to get back to that Be Thankful cardigan, because hopefully I can get that done within the next couple of weeks. Oh, I nearly forgot. I meant to tell you that if you'd watched that UFO video back last year, you would know that I was struggling with a little bit of knitting roulette, not sure if I was going to have enough yarn. Clearly, I had enough yarn. I will show you the ball size that I've got left. It was touch and go, I have to say, so I was right to be worried. So yeah, that's the size of ball of yarn I had left. So that was pretty good, I think. Wasn't expecting that. So my roulette this time worked. Let's hope it does for the Be Thankful cardigan too. So as I'm going downstairs, I thought I'd show you that this is the new landing. We've got a new newel post. I learned what that was called recently. And banisters and handrail. And it's very, very neat. It looks very, very nice. And I've also had to bind the carpet edge because it was a raw edge there, because the old banisters came in a bit further, so it was tucked under. But so I've grippy thing there. So I've stitched it down. That took some time. I think towards this end I just hot glue gunned it, but underneath it's hot glue gunned on the back, and then I stitched it on the top so I could catch the loops of the carpet. But I'm quite pleased how that came out. It looks very neat. I just used some 2-inch twill tape. I think it's about 2 inches or 80 centimetres, and that seemed to work quite well. So I'm planning to do the same for when I do the rug down there. I've got a 50s carpet which is lying there at the moment while the front room is being fixed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that, unfortunately, because there's a big hole in one side. So hopefully I can employ a similar method. I mean, it won't be loopy on top, so I might have to sew all the way through to get it through, because I did try that up the other end. I started off going all the way through, but this is quite a gluey carpet, and so my needle kept gunking up. But yeah, it looks neat, doesn't it? I think. Yeah, it does. So yeah, this is what's been stopping me from sewing for the last 2 months. You wouldn't think it would take that long, but Ben is a perfectionist, so he likes to take his time and make sure everything's right, which I have no complaints against, and it does look rather smashing. All we've got to do now is paint those stairs. I think a primer coat first, and then we'll get them back. They're going to be brown. I think they're going to look nice. I was really hesitant at the beginning. I didn't like it at all, I have to confess, but Ben's convinced me the painted stairs are what we need. So I'm sure he'll do a beautiful job of it, and it will look brilliant. But yeah, I don't like hearing people running up the stairs, but I've kind of got used to it now. We have radiators. They haven't been turned on yet, but we might have heat soon. It's very exciting.